to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. We got a lot to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. So it's time to crush.
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, I know you still charged up off of ILP this Sunday, and it was really good. You got a chance to see Beefy Cog and the Iron Rook as they start their tag team match. The tag team name is called The Punishers. If you understand the reference here, hey, man, I'm working with you. But, again, if you got a chance to watch ILP with Lord Attic, myself, Lord Sovereign, and Lord Cognito in absence, he's at GDC. He's getting some stuff together. We have sources with names to paperwork to talk about stuff that we have coming for y'all. So again, I can't wait for y'all to get that information. But you're here because what? You're an Xbox fan, right? Or you're a King hater, one of the two. But if it's your first time finding the channel and you love Xbox, well, you met your new best friend, me, the King. Monday through Fridays, Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live. And on the weekends, I drop videos like this. So you guys get a chance to have content every day of the week. But most importantly, you get content with sources. You see, here, we like to have sources and bring that to you because that conversation that I'm giving you right now is very poignant in the conversation going forward today. So again, we do have information that we're going to be talking about because Steam may miss this situation. But there's a bigger problem in the streets. Sony didn't say anything. Well, I guess that's where sources come in at, right? The hell with it. Nintendo got a lawsuit. Let's make it happen. Let's see what's going on. Let's get to it. Now, one of the biggest questions that I've had, being that Valve has gone radio silent when it came to the Steam machine, Valve says it's still plans to ship the Steam machine in 2026. And they did say that it was planning to ship early in 2026. Well, we are early in 2026. We're in March, as a matter of fact, and we don't have a date, a price, or any confirmation of a said shipment. But Valve did come out of the cubbyhole and decide to grace us with some type of information to give us some form of idea of what they're thinking. Because we do know that the Steam Decks, that's the OLED, and the regular Steam Deck LCD, are no longer in production or out of stock. With the looming rising of questions looking at Steam for answers, Valve decided to give us some. Valve has updated a blog post and it says that it's still shipping the Steam machine, Steam frame, and Steam controller in 2026. A blog post from on Friday initially seemed to throw cold water on the idea of the Steam machine, Steam frame, and Steam controller arriving in 2026 after all. But Valve tells The Verge that it did not mean to suggest that because it did state that they might fall out of 2026. And that all three pieces of hardware will indeed ship this year despite challenges from the ongoing memory shortage. Now, that is a company not willing to pay what going market value is for said components due to the tariffs, due to the world conditions that everyone else must deal with. I do believe that Valve, Steam, is in a position of being a storefront that desperately wants to be a full body machine. Earlier today, Valve wrote that we hope to ship in 2026, which sounded like a downgrade from Valve's earlier promises. As recently as last month, the company Exclusivity said it had not changed its plans to ship all three hardware products in the first half of the year. Now it turns into the first half of the year. So that means you have up until June. Even though that itself has changed from its original goal of early 2026, like I've stated before, or in first quarter of 2026, like was promised. Now, when you come out and say that you're going to release in the first quarter, we understand what the first quarter looks like. So I said they had to answer by April. April is 1 month away. You need to have pre-orders up. You need to have marketing out. I believe that Valve and Steam is out of their depths, with GameStop looking to be full stop. I don't think they have the bargaining leverage that you think they do. Let me continue. Today, it seems like the company is quietly delaying the product yet again. Valve didn't immediately respond to requests for the comment. But after we initially published the article on Valve's post, Valve PR recently reached out and told The Verge that nothing has actually changed on our end. Valve has also updated the blog post to state that we will be still shipping all 3 products this year. This is brought to you by The Verge, and Jay Peters. And this was dropped on March 6, 2026. Again, we will talk more about this. This is something that I see that is troublesome. A rumor has spread wildfire all over the place. Without any confirmation from Sony itself, people continue to run with the rhetoric that PlayStation will be removing first-party titles, well, single-player games, off of the PC. With a Jason Schreier rumor and other rumors being spread with no Sony confirmation, I think it's dangerous to spread information like this. I think it's irresponsible to run with information like this. I think this is only benefits console warriors like myself when it comes to stuff like this. This shows absolutely zero benefit for gamers in general, where if you're not a console warrior like myself, or console fanboy like myself, then this stuff right here is really detrimental to business, corporate business. And understanding that is dangerous to corporate, meaning that anticipated titles like Marvel, Wolverine, and Soros will remain on the PlayStation exclusive. It's irresponsible journalism just like this that issues all types of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Over the years, exclusives have pretty much not meant exclusives, with titles often releasing on both console and PC simultaneously. However, it seems though Sony is set to combat this by locking up its upcoming exclusive to PlayStation 5 and later to PlayStation 6. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. I'm going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. It's irresponsible journalism that we see right here. That Screen Rant, all they had to do was Google it. All they had to do was take time. But in this now era, in this rumor era, where an indictment of an accusation or a rumor is detrimental, the masses go with what they think they know instead of what is actually true. The hypocrisy in this is devastating, to say the least. I must say, I believe that Capcom is in for Developer Publisher of the Year. With the wonderful spotlight that they did the other day, Capcom Spotlight on March 2026 recap. Pragmata launches on April 17th. Alex joins Street Fighter 6 and absolutely more. The Mega Man stuff actually intrigued me a whole lot more than a lot of people think. I thought that the Mega Man stuff was actually cool. Plus, they had Monster Hunters Stories 3, The Twisted Reflection, and the Mega Man Dual Override Robot Master Design Contest. That was actually cool. So, again, for individuals that are into all the stuff wonderful from Capcom, I highly suggest you go look at the Spotlight. It's just like 30, 35 minutes of great information on what the publisher of probably the year is actually up to with games like Resident Evil, Pragmata, and stuff like that. Capcom seems to be on a roll. And coming from a company that was looking at absolute bankruptcy not too long ago within recent memory, I am truly hopeful and grateful that Capcom is righting the ship and doing everything is wonderful. It's always wonderful to see a company come back to give much more. Now, this is something that I wasn't going to touch, but based upon all the information that is out there, I have an indifference feeling to it, but at the same time, I do have um, a sense that Nintendo's corporate greed is going to exceed their grasp. Now, they do have some of the best lawyers in the business, but going up against the U.S. government is something totally different. Nintendo sues the U.S. government and demands full tariff refund plus interest. You see, plus interest sues the government. Nintendo lawsuits appears to be one of the hundreds filed in recent weeks demanding tariff refunds. However, its troubles are preventing IT troubles are preventing the federal agency from issuing refunds quickly. Now, Nintendo has taken the whole White House court, demanding a full refund for what it paid to cover the Trump administration's now voided tariffs. Nintendo filed a lawsuit today in the U.S. Court in International Trade, 2 weeks after the Supreme Court struck down Trump's reciprocal tariffs. And those in China and Canada and Mexico, the lawsuit spotted by Aftermath was also called for the White House to pay interest. Nintendo accuses various federal agencies of engaging in unlawful trade measures that have, to this date, resulted in collection of more than $200 billion in tariffs on imports from nearly all other countries. Nintendo's complaint doesn't say how much it paid in tariffs, but it's likely a lot to consider the company's imported numerous Switch consoles to Cambodia, Vietnam, and 2 countries that were ensnared in Trump's reciprocal tariffs. It's a wave of people, and Nintendo joins the wave of people that are suing the government. I think the appeals court will hear from the U.S. government when it comes to them voiding out the tariffs. I don't believe the government is in the business of giving back money. But the bigger question is, why hasn't Sony and Microsoft sued as well? With Nintendo taking the lead in the charge going forward, were they severely hampered? More so than the other two? But another note, are they going to give that money that they got back, because all they did was raise the price of the consoles? Because they said it severely impacted their consoles, which I didn't notice at all. They was always sold out for whatever price that they put. They had to delay a week or two, but they still sold out. So are they going to take that money and give it back? I doubt it. Again, this is more corporate greed, talking about more corporate things, doing more corporate stuff that really is not for us. Now, my opinion on things is very different than most. And it will always be that way because I like to be a free thinker. I like to think for myself. Unlike a lot of people, they want somebody to spoon feed them their thoughts. Me personally, no. I'm going to think and I'm going to react on my environment, my way, and how I see things. Because if I would have listened to everybody else, my channel would have been named something else. I wouldn't have held the line for Xbox and the brand that I love. And now Asha is here to usher us into a whole new dynasty of excellence as pushing forward the narrative of a warlike regime, a person that is cold, calculating, and is willing to step on toes necessary to make things happen. But not to talk about them, but to talk about who is this Steam machine for? Like, I never really understood it. Because listen, when I got my Xbox ROG Ally X, right, I personally was playing my Steam Deck. And after getting my Xbox ROG Ally X and I was able to just launch Steam from my Xbox ROG Ally, I never used the Steam Deck again. And it just sat there. So with seeing how underpowered the Steam machine is, with the likelihood of the cost being $1,000, with knowing that Valve is not in the business of doing exactly what they did before, with selling overpriced machines that nobody called for. You see, what Valve is their storefront, their third-party storefront, but they don't produce first-party titles to give the brand identity to a device. So it's not necessary. And then knowing that the Project Helix will have Steam storefront on it kind of eliminates the need for Steam Machine. So I don't know if Valve is reevaluating their thoughts with Steam Machine, but it's very worrisome that we're already past the first quarter and now they're talking about the second half. I'm really 60-40 on this thing making it out this year, if it comes out ever, because if it slips past this year, I think that thing gets canceled, and it gets canceled pretty quickly. Now, one thing I must address is, I guess people was kind of uh, didn't understand what I was saying when I was saying Magnus and Project Helix. Before Project Helix was announced, we were giving the next Xbox code name Magnus. We know the chipset is Magnus. It's still Project Helix is the name of the console. So again, I don't know a lot of times that if some of you guys think that my brain is as smooth as yours, but it's not. Okay, so Sony removing themselves from this ecosystem, the PC ecosystem, taking games away from Steam. I don't find any validity in it at all. But I do know that they have their own PC launcher that they're going to be releasing. And they can just put their games onto their PC launcher. So do they remove games from Steam? Put it only on their launcher? I guess that time will tell soon. But the bigger question is, why, after all this information comes out, do they drop a controller PC only? Right? It's because they're making a home over at PC to get more of the PC user into their ecosystem. I'm not fearful of PC losing PlayStation titles. Actually, I know that the launch is going to show up. They have a launch that they already had. All those job qualifications already fulfilled. So they're working on their own personal launcher, their own client to have you inside. And that client will be available for Xbox. All right. So again, PlayStation will continue to do how they're doing. I'm not fearful of them canceling titles, not making titles, doing titles towards the PC. One, because I have a PlayStation 5 Pro and I have a PlayStation 5. Two, because they never said anything. Until something is confirmed by Sony, I won't believe. I'm not saying that Jason Schreier isn't a credible individual. He's a credible individual. All right. But again, I'll wait for Sony to say something. Just the same way I wait for Xbox to say stuff. I can hear all the rumors in the world. Rumors don't move me because rumors is just shadow talking until somebody has the balls enough to stand up and actually do something about it. Nintendo. The bigger question is, why didn't everybody sue it all at the same time? And I believe because Microsoft knows that they're going to get relief when it comes to Project Helix. I don't really care about Sony because what Sony did in their home country and what Nintendo did in their home country was they lowered the price on their consoles for their national home team. Good. I thought Xbox was supposed to do that here. But, and I'm going to talk to Asha about it. Honestly, seriously, why isn't Xbox selling consoles region locked at a price point that is cheaper for the American fan? Right? Because, y'all want to talk about tariffs and all that stuff. I don't really care. I just see more corporate greed, more money that's never going to get back to us. I already got my Switch 2. I already got that stuff. I paid my money. They didn't miss a damn sale. They scheduled a week back or did whatever the hell they did. So what? It didn't change anything financially as far as it came to us. Marketing probably skipped something. They probably had to spend more money on marketing. But why isn't everybody else suing? Sony, Microsoft, those. That is the bigger question, and that's something that we have to look out and look into. But with Project Helix on the rise, with Xbox and exclusivity back on the table, what is it that you need from Xbox in order to see that they have completely did a 180? See, a lot of people like to say 360, but if you do a 360, you're still in the same position that you started. So if Microsoft and Xbox does a 180 and Satya is on board, is money hatting a thing? Marketing deals, is that a thing? What happens now? Because we haven't seen Sony come out and market Grand Theft Auto 6. What if Xbox gets the marketing deal for Grand Theft Auto 6? What does that do? And Project Helix is the best place to play. Well, this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, The King. If you liked anything that you saw in today's video, please like, follow, and subscribe. Take my invitation and become a member. Members is the lifeblood of the stream. And I will salute you, soldier, on every show. So, listen, I want you to do what I do every day. I want you to go where I go every day. You should be doing it like I'm doing it. I want you to go where gamers game and winners win. And I want you to try to play the Game Pass.
What is your mindset when people have opinions? What do you do with that? Do you just block it out or do you use it?
I don't care. Look at me. What about me would make you think that I care about your opinion of me? Your opinion of me is not the opinion that I have of myself. You ain't make me, so you can't break me. You didn't build me, so you can't kill me. You know what? God established me, so you ain't nothing you could do to me. I've been him. I've been a difference maker, a game changer. I've been that guy. So what will change? Not a darn thing. I love it, but I don't care. And I wish the world thought like that. Youngsters, if you're out there right now, do not give a darn what opinions people have of you, long as that opinion is not consistent of that of yourself. You be you. I'm not planning to make you feel good about me. I already feel good about me. I'm good. Message for the youngsters out there and the old school.